the foremost 49er expert in all the land, joining us right now, having a blast, I'm sure, covering this team, Matthew Barrows. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Great.
Well, great. How are you, friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
You know what? And thank you for not saying, how are we doing? That's always a pet peeve of mine because I don't know how you're doing. And then I feel like it's presumptuous. Yeah.
No, that's terrible. Never use the first person plural.
Oh, never, ever, whatever that means. Matt, so really we're all happy about yesterday, but we're all worried about Deebo. And from what we've heard, a high ankle, they think, and could be out for the regular season, back for the playoffs. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I think that's about right. There's different severities of this, but I feel like the fact that they went out there and examined him and then allowed him to try to get to his feet on his own, and of course he fell back down, but it suggested that they didn't think that there was anything, any fractures, any ligament tears, anything like that in that leg, that they would allow him to do that. So it's a bad high ankle sprain, and those can take a while. We're talking weeks, plural. Going without Deebo Samuel for this last stretch, I think is very realistic, but I think it's also realistic that he's back for any sort of postseason. And, for a while there, as he was writhing in pain, everybody was, at one point, the entire bench, 49ers bench, came off the field and went out to midfield to try to shake his hand as he was being taken off. Just underscores what this guy means to the team, what he meant last year. He was everything for them. It's a big deal that he's not there, but also a big deal that, he was Mr. January last year and, probably will be in a position to be that again this year.
So the obvious statement is, all the things he means to the team, even if he doesn't have the stats on a week-to-week basis, just the kind of pressure he puts on opposing teams, where he lines up, they've got to be, always keep an eye on him. How do they make up for his loss in these weeks that he's out?
Yeah, I don't think you can. The guy who comes in for him is Ray McLeod, and he's a nice player in his own right, but I don't know how many pounds less than Deebo Samuel he is. He just doesn't bring that punch that Samuel brings. There was this to me is one of the plays of the game, and no one's going to remember it because it wasn't a scoring play, it wasn't a huge play, but it was a very subtle play where Brock Purdy's being blitzed, he feels the pressure, and he's able to kind of not sidestep it. He still gets blasted, but he moves enough that he's able to get rid of the ball and throws just a little screen to Deebo Samuel. And this is a third down play. And Samuel catches it, and because he's Deebo Samuel, he's able to pick up 9-10 yards and a first down. I just thought for both guys it was just really telling of who they are. Purdy with his kind of instincts that he's showing, the quick release, the ability to kind of avoid big hits and get yards where everything seems lost. And then Deebo Samuel, for anyone else in the league, that's a gain of 1, and he turns it into a gain of 9 or 10. So I don't think you can replace him. I think he's a really nice compliment to Brock Purdy. And, this is one of those other guys got to kind of step up situations.
Matt Barrows joining us. Brock Purdy, oblique. Kyle Shanahan mentioned that. I think it was a weird, double negative answer when asked. I was saying earlier, he's like, I'm not going to say it won't hold him out on Thursday, which I get it. He doesn't know yet. But is there a legit worry that he could miss Thursday?
I don't think so. It's always, Shanahan's caution was that once the adrenaline drains away, some of these guys who seem perfectly fine on Sunday afternoon come in on Monday, and it's entirely different. The 49ers have had that in recent weeks with Deebo Samuel and with Nick Bosa. So he wasn't sure. It's a short week. Samuel and Bosa were able to play because they finally started feeling well on the Friday before the game. So Brock Purdy and anyone else who was injured yesterday don't have that luxury this week. So I think that's what the scenario is. Shanahan's going to talk around 10 o'clock this morning, and he should provide an update on Purdy and Dante Johnson and Ambry Thomas. There was a long list of injured guys. So a blowout win, all that. But boy, they've got to really sort of rally very quickly in a place where they've gotten a lot of injuries in Seattle over the years, a lot. Sort of gut punch type injuries too. So this is going to be a real test for this team. Can they kind of summon everything that they need to win in a place that's been extremely inhospitable to them in the past?
Matt, the front office, Kyle Shanahan, coaching staff have to just be elated. I mean, you get to the third quarterback on a Super Bowl caliber team, obviously thrown into the fire against Miami as well, but now a full week to prepare, a full week for the Buccaneers to prepare. He looked great. I mean, I just thought start to finish, he was in total control of his game. What kind of confidence now does this have to give the 49ers, knowing that, the kid could kind of handle this?
Yeah, huge confidence, and it's a good point. I mean, coming in midway through a game is different than preparing all week. I mean, you just don't have time to really kind of think about it and stew about it when you're, an emergency replacement. In this game, Brock Purdy had all week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had all week to prepare, and Shanahan said that. He said he liked what he saw in the Wednesday through Friday practices from Purdy. Wasn't expecting any less, but you never know until the guy goes through it. And that he looked exactly against the Buccaneers like he did against the Dolphins, and that's sort of that consistency that you're looking for with him. Purdy is not a guy who has, everybody to a man describes him as quiet off the field in the locker room. He sits by himself. He's not really emotional. You do see it on the field, kind of the finger guns and the fist pumping. So you know that current is running through him, but he keeps it under control. And I think a lot of his teammates, a lot of his veteran teammates, have picked up on that and appreciate that. And you saw it take effect on Sunday.
Matt Barrows with us. So me being the eternal scaredy cat pessimist, my worry was, all right, they got a little bit of film off of Purdy from the Dolphins game, but that's not a lot. And now, okay, they have a game and a half. In your experience, years past covering this sport, is a game and a half generally enough for other teams to have material, or is there still the worry that, okay, with every game Purdy plays, the more likely it's going to be that one of these teams is going to find, I guess, Matt, I'm rambling. I'm worried about some sort of secret weapon weakness that Purdy has that's going to get exploited at some point.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right too. I call it the Kelly Holcomb effect. I don't know if you guys remember Kelly Holcomb from 10 years ago. He looked like the second coming for the Cleveland Browns for a good, I don't know how many games he was just kind of dealing back there, but it was 2 or 3 games where he looked sensational. And, the storyline out of Cleveland was, wow, they found this diamond in the rough. He's sensational. He's the next Drew Brees. And then all of a sudden he wasn't. And there are a lot of guys like that. And it's usually 2 or 3 games, and then, the emperor has no clothes. I mean, the magic is gone. Now, if you're asking me, what Brock Purdy's flaw is that these teams are going to find out, I'm not sure. I mean, coming out of the Dolphins game, I was thinking, oh, gee, he was missing some deep throws. He had his eyes on the shallow receivers. He wasn't challenging anybody deep. Defenses are going to zero in on that and ding him for it. Well, in this game, he had 2 deep touchdown passes. Several other passes that went, 15 yards or so. He was seeing everything. I mean, the touchdown throw to McCaffrey was not his first read. So he's going through his reads quickly. I've already talked about his ability to buy himself a little extra time and get rid of the ball quickly. And then we also saw the mobility yesterday with the touchdown. So he was checking off a lot of boxes. It'd be hard to find a flaw if you're Pete Carroll in that game against the Buccaneers. Obviously, any quarterback who gets a lot of pressure, Tom Brady will tell you this, is going to struggle. So that's the key. That's the key for every quarterback, though. So I don't know if there's a sort of a smoking gun to Purdy's last game and a half that kind of points to where or how his fall would come.
That's Matt Barrows of The Athletic. Get his coverage all over the place. And sign up for The Athletic if you haven't already. My subscription at full price, just renewed last week.
Wow, you're the guy that's got the full price subscription. Okay.
Yeah, it's the thing. I don't know what it was, like $59 or something a year, which, by the way, is a bargain at twice the price. I am being honest there, but I see it all the time, Matt. Between you and Amick and all that, you guys are fantastic, but it's always, hey, get The Athletic for 7 years at $5 for like ever, and I'm honestly, Matt, if
you feel ripped off, and you should.
I do not feel ripped off. I find myself yearning and hoping that the bulk of my $59 goes into your shampoo fund or whatever it may be, Sam Amick's corduroy jacket fund. I hope you guys are getting the money.
Is that a ball joke? Wow. Man, you got a guy on as a guest, and then you just pepper him with ball jokes the whole time.
Just uncalled for.
Jerk.
It's, family joke. I mean, remember, one time we saved your life many years ago.
I'll never forget that. Yeah.
You're the absolute best. We look forward to talking to you next week, and keep the streak going.
All right, Dave. Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks,
That's Matt Barrows. We'll take a break. Snuck that in there, and he caught it.
Shots at Matt.
He is sharp. When we come back, we 14 in the end.